Welcome back to another Experts in AI video here at the AI Summit in New York. I'm Ben Wadecki, and joining me today is Michael Griffin, the Chief Data Scientist at Insight. Michael, thanks so much for taking the time today.
Thank you for having me.
So talk to us a little bit before we begin about what the team does at Insight.
Well, Insight is a global company. We have 11,000 teammates worldwide. We're a market capitalization of about $3.5 billion. 1,300 of those people are technology consultants. We have deep expertise in all manner of web enablement, data and AI, strategy and design, and so forth.
Mm-hmm. So you join us today shortly after giving a really interesting keynote on high impact AI. Not as much as a mouthful as I've made it to be. Can you outline for us kind of what you spoke about during that speech?
Well, high impact AI is the kind of AI that generates wealth, but I'm not talking about monetary wealth. I'm talking about the generation of wealth that changes the world. I'm a big old softie. I don't necessarily just want to meet my business objectives when I perform for my clients, but I want to meet something a little higher, something that will make the world a little better place. And it's the kind of thing that's available to everybody, and we're not the only ones doing it. Everybody's capable of doing it, and a lot of people are doing it besides just Insight.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only softie on set today. I'll keep you there. The one thing that I was told about your keynote is that you spoke about the kind of AI's transition to providing actionable insights, via AI. I was on a panel talking about this yesterday, but I wanted to get your perspective. What do companies need to achieve this idea?
Well, I think there's a fear of change. Everybody is sort of reluctant. Well, the vast majority of people are reluctant to change, and adopting, in the healthcare space, clinical decision support is you meet a lot of resistance. I would just off the cuff, I would say about 50% of doctors don't want to listen to a clinical decision support provided by an intelligent application, and that's something that's difficult to overcome. And how that is overcome is a little bit of psychology and a little bit of arm twisting, and policy development as well. Like the entity has to sort of push their people to adopt these things.
So when they're looking to adopt these things, what kind of challenges do you see them facing, and how do you, what advice would you give to them to overcome those?
Well, I think everything that we do, we try to focus on ROI, and ROI isn't necessarily the dollars involved. Like a company will invest in us, and we will hopefully give them a positive return on that investment. But back to healthcare again, if the ROI is saving money in addition to saving or increasing the quality of a patient's life or increasing the length of that life, those things have to be considered, and that's the kind of thing that we can work with our champions and our clients and try to help their people get to the point where they're adopting AI.
So Michael, you've been a data scientist in this space for 3 decades, which I find absolutely amazing. How do you find the need for revolution? To what extent do you feel that high impact AI could be the next thing to revolutionize this space?
I think it's a necessary thing. I think high impact AI, the kind of AI that changes the world, will benefit your company in a lot of different ways. One, you'll be able to attract very high talented people. Like everybody talks about millennials wanting their jobs to have meaning, and that's very true. But I want my job to have meaning too. I think everybody in this building wants their job to have meaning, and that's kind of an easy sell. If you're doing things that are changing the world for the better, then you can tell your people your job is contributing to that. That's an easy one. You can also attract, in our case, as a consultant, I attract great clients who want to change the world, clients who are like-minded, and I feed off that, and they feed off us. It's a really symbiotic relationship, and there's not a whole lot of risk involved. There's not, but there's potentially a huge payoff.
So we're here in December in New York, which is absolutely freezing, but I want to look ahead to next year. Given your vast experience, what things are you kind of looking at in terms of predictions? How are you viewing 2022 for AI?
Well, I predict the AI Summit will be in Florida next December.
I hope so.
But I think that it's hard to, as a data scientist, I'm often asked to make predictions, well, every day. But I think it's very hard to predict the future. But I do think that we are generating tremendous amounts of wealth in AI, not just monetary wealth, and that wealth generation is accelerating, and so I'm really eager to find out. We have a lot of things cooking in the hopper at work, but I think the ecosystem, the AI ecosystem, is so vast and sprawling already, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger, and more finances are being poured into this space. It's a very exciting field to be in.
And speaking of exciting, what can our viewers expect from yourself and the team at Insight next year, of course?
Well, we are growing, that's for sure. We are, everybody is fully occupied. We're trying to attract new talent. So if anybody out there wants to join our team.
I was going to say, they'd probably not have room for me if they're all occupied.
We have a great line of business, and it's great clients. I think my goal is for Insight to become the best AI technology consultant in the world. Mm-hmm. We're not there yet, but we will be in the very near future.
So this time next year, we can have that conversation again?
I think we will be several steps toward that goal, yes.
Well, let's look forward to that, and thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.